Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to talk about Character Creator. It's a new tool that allows you to generate a fully rigged character in just a couple of minutes from text or from art. Here's what I was able to do with it in Unreal. All right, that's a little teaser. Some of what's possible with Cartwheel and Unreal. With Cartwheel, you can generate the characters, put some animation on it, and then you can export it into Unreal and put some lighting, effects, set up some cameras. This workflow is a really great combination for Previs or doing some prototyping of an idea. Also, if you're a Maya user, we're going to go over bringing a character into Maya. It's amazing. This is rigged. This character did not exist 5 minutes ago. So stick around for that. All right, cool. Let's make some characters. So to get started, I've got a character here that I generated earlier, which is just a little caveman. I want to do something different though. If you click on this little smiley face here, it opens up the character panel. And then I want to generate new character. Click on that. And oh, looks like I had previously been working on a monkey character. I'm just going to start over just to give you the full experience. Let's do Astra. Just see, generate. So what it's going to do is it's going to generate some images. I like this one. And what it's doing is it's putting all the characters on a white background within a T-pose. This makes it really easy for our system to rig the character. So let's try cartoon bunny. Let's see what that does. Interesting. It's got floppy ears, super cute. This one has ears like that. Let's try robot. So once you have sort of an image that you're feeling good about, once you're happy with that and you're ready, you just go ahead and hit continue. And now it's going to tell you your request is queued and it's going to start building your character for you. Right now, you can only work with bipeds. It'll only generate biped characters, which means 2 arms, 2 legs, a head, and a neck. So quadrupeds, we don't support that yet, but in the future we will. It doesn't really work well with props. So if your character has like a sword, long hair, or any kind of like extremity kind of thing that hangs out, it assumes that all geometry that's present is part of the character. So it's not going to rig that very well. All these things will be supported in the future, but this is a brand new tool. It just came out. So these are the limitations. But as long as you kind of try to stick to those, you'll get pretty successful results. All right, finished. So here we go. We got our character, this robot, and it's doing a little calisthenics routine to kind of give you a sense of like how successful it was. You can kind of take a look at it from different angles. We also have a couple of features in here. Sometimes if it looks like, overall the performance is maybe the head is too far down or too far up, you can kind of globally sort of make an adjustment right here before you go forward to kind of give you the right look. Sometimes we've found the shoulders can be either a little too high or a little too low. This is just kind of like go in here and kind of make some adjustments. Usually you don't have to touch it much. Tweak these parameters to kind of get something that looks a little bit to your liking, and then go ahead and hit looks good. And now your character is in your scene. Looks like the fingers got a little kind of wonky on this particular character. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. Now that you have this, you can just start, let's do like a dance. Pick some anime maybe like, oh, there's a nice dance. I'm gonna use this one. Yeah, so just like that. I mean, and when you're happy with what you have, you can download this motion, you can download a video or various formats that might be helpful for you in your workflow. Once again, this is a rigged character. It has animation on the bones of the skeleton. Professional animators, this is just like a base that you can build on in Maya, refine it. Maybe you want to speed it up. Maybe you want to adjust the poses. Maybe you want to fix some of the feet or the intersections that you might be seeing. Maybe you want to go in there and fix those fingers. That's easy to do. Let's do it again. Let's generate another character. This time, I'm going to upload an image of a dog. Imagine that you have a picture of your dog and you want to just use that as a reference for a character creator and you want to create something. So here's my original photo that I uploaded. From this, it created these other suggestions for like a dog that I might want to create, which is super cute. Look at that one. It's adorable. Look at that. It's got pants. Funny. This one looks kind of cool. I'm going to try that one. Okay, so here we are. We're back. The dog is finished. Again, this calisthenics is just to kind of try and give you a sense of all the different range of motions that you might encounter with your animations. So if it doesn't work for every single pose in here, that's okay. Make some adjustments if you feel like, yeah, the arms could be out a little bit more. All right, looks good. And so now we have the same animation that I did before, but now it's on my golden retriever. If you want to go back to your previous character, it's still here. You can do your robot still. You can peruse through some of my other animations that I did or my other characters. I did this monkey that turned out pretty well. I tried to do my cat. I have a Tonkinese cat. I took a picture of my cat and uploaded it. And this time it pointed out one of the limitations I mentioned earlier. Sometimes when a character has sort of like pieces that are kind of sticking out, like whiskers, it doesn't always render those very well, where that will be fixed in the future. All right, let's try one more. This time I'm going to, instead of generating from a photo, I'm going to drag in like some art. So here's my sketch of my character. From this, it created these images. I'm going to point something out. It will work if you can select any one of these to kind of use as a reference. It will work if you select this one, but it's actually not in a T-pose. For this to work really well, it needs to be in a T-pose, the source image. So that would probably break. But let's try it with this one. Let's just see how this character turns out. All right, so we're back. We've got our character done. This one looks like the hands are working a lot better, which is nice. Go ahead, and it looks good. Now we've got our little Ranger Rick doing a dance move. Again, what's nice is all the previous characters that you generated are still here in this menu. If you don't like one, or like this one didn't turn out as well as you want, you can just delete it. You can also rename the character. You can go to this verify upload section, and this is where you adjust these sliders. Again, if you're like, you know, every time I look at this, for some reason the head is just a little bit up too high or too low. I'm going to go back in here and make some adjustments. The auto rigging section, what you can do here is if you want to just adjust how it rigged the character, you can verify the center line. This is what it does automatically, but you can adjust it and kind of redo it if you want. And this is what it chose for the feet, the knees, pelvis, shoulders. But if you kind of want to adjust like what it did and how it chose these things, you can come in here and make some tweaks. Cool. So if you just, you want to verify or make some adjustments, that's how you can do that. And I remade the little image of the Ranger, but this time I put him in a T-pose. In the original artwork, it's in a T-pose, and I think this will work a little bit better. So here we go again. Here's the new drawing of my character that I drew out, and now it's in a T-pose on a white background. And let's try this again. New generation based on the artwork that I uploaded. Looks like it's working. Cool. So let's proceed, go forward. And now there's our little character that's generated from a sketch. And you can make animation for this character. So there's our character. Let's do one more just for fun. Let's try like a giant mech superhero. Check it out. That's neat. Oh, that one's pretty awesome looking. I'm just gonna go with that one. Our giant mech superhero robot is done. Awesome. Move forward. So as you can tell from my face, this is just super fun. It's fun to play with. If you're just trying to generate some characters for your shot, for your background characters, or just maybe even a main character that you want to do an animation test, this is just really fun. Play with it. Let us know what you think in the comments on this video, or just drop us a line on Discord and ask questions. I'm just gonna put a different hand pose on him. Yeah, there we go. So now he's got like and the hands worked great on this one. Nice. You're going to notice that when you get really, really close to the characters, the detail, it's not super high resolution. So it's more for, more at this phase kind of designed for like full body stuff. We are going to be adding the ability to create higher resolution characters in the future. But right now, this is kind of where we're at with it. What's pretty cool is like 5 minutes ago, we did not have this character, but now we do. We can download it and open it up in Maya. I'm going to show you that next, just to show you what this character right here will look like in Maya. When you got your animation that you like and you want to download it, you go to the download button. For this first exercise, I'm going to show you, I'm going to download this for Maya. I always use MA, it's a little bit safer. I like to have rebuild curves turned on. If you need to know more about this, check out this video here. And I like to have IK feet turned on. That means that the animation will be baked to the IK for the feet. You can do the same for the hands if you like or not. And just go ahead and click download. All right, so here we are in Maya. We've got our super mech robot guy. Looks amazing. This is rigged. There is a ridiculously good rig on this character. This character did not exist 5 minutes ago. And now we're sitting here in Maya. We have a fully rigged character. I mean, look at this. This rig has FK-IK switching on it. It's got align spaces. So you select the head control, turn on world alignment. Now, see how the head stays automatically oriented to the world? So the arms are set up that way. I mean, this is ridiculous. This character did not exist 5 minutes ago, and now here it is. This is the animation I downloaded. Yeah, let's say I wanted to sort of like make this jump a little bit higher. Okay, I'm gonna click on his root. Here's the TY. We have a cleaned up spline. Stretch out like his jump. Whoa! Oh, looks like because his feet were set up on IK, I have to do the same thing for his feet. Yeah. So again, this is awesome. Wanted to show you what it looks like in Maya. Okay, we're also going to download an FBX that we will bring into Unreal, and so we'll show you what that looks like. So instead of selecting Maya, I'm just going to select FBX, and down here where it says software, you're going to change this to Unreal. These are available if you want to go to Blender or to Maya. This is the FBX download, so select Unreal. Download that. Okay, so I got Unreal opened up, and I'm going to import that character. Let's take a look. That looks. For Unreal, what I've noticed is if I come into the material editor, I'll add a multiply node on the base color, and then I crank it up to like 2, 3. It makes the colors more vibrant. There's skeletal mesh. Yeah. Cool. And because he's a robot, I think I want to make sure he's a little bit shiny. So on the metallic, break off this one. Break off. I'm going to make my own. Just make the metallic 1. I'll disconnect the roughness. Yeah. So now I've got like a metal robot, a little bit more. It's looking nice. The animation is right here. So here's our... And what I like to do is I like to build a little level sequence. Make one, call it mech. And I'm gonna add my robot to the scene, and I'm gonna add that guy to my sequencer, and then I'm gonna add the animation to the character so I can see the character animating. And if you want to do some adjustments, you can use our Unreal control rig. I can add a layered control rig to this character, the global control. Ooh, bonk. Bonk. Looks like he needs to go down a little bit more. All right, so here we are. Now we've got like a set. I downloaded this cool set from this like Miami cityscape set. And here is our character doing their little jump. Boom. Right out of the gate, what I did is I took our character and I scaled it up. So I scaled up this character 6 times. So now it's 6 times bigger than it was before, which makes it match sort of the size of the environment. Then with our control rig that we built a minute ago, I added some vertical lift to the jump. So you can see like now it really shoots up much faster, just to kind of really make that feel like whoa. And then, sorry, it's hard for me not to do the sound effects. I'm an animator. All right, so then another thing that I noticed is that if you turn off this control rig, you can see that see how the arms don't have a lot of energy when they land? They're a little stiff. And so with the control rig that we added, I took the elbow controls and I added a little bit of overlap to that landing, which you can see right here on this FK control. And I did that for both elbows. This one's kind of doing the opposite. I also did sort of as the character comes into land, I want to have the arms like up high, like right before the impact, and then they slam back down. Whereas in the original animation, you can see that the arms, they're not really that high. They're kind of stuck up in the air, and I want to have that. So again, that we did with the upper arm controls. We're stretching out those arms, getting them high right before the impact, and then they come boom, slamming down, and you see some overlap with that elbow. Another thing that we did in the video that was really effective is used one of my favorite features in Unreal, this time dilation. So you can, with a simple curve, I can ramp down the speed of playback. So right now it's at real time from here, and then through this section we slow way down to like 0.2 of normal speed, and it automatically adds frames to just get that really cool slow effect. Then we set up some cameras. So the establishing shot is this camera that it's like a big wide camera with a little bit of a track along there, and then it cuts into right on the impact, right on the action, cuts to POV camera of like, oh, somebody's seeing this thing, whoa, and looking up at it. You know, if you were actually on the ground with that character, if you're actually there looking up, you know, you'd have a wide angle lens in order to see everything. So this camera is, you know, it's more of a wide angle shot. What do we have that set up as? That is, let's see, which camera is that? Current focal length, 11 millimeters for that one. Really nice wide angle. And then I also put like there's a little bit of camera shake on it, you know, when you cut to that. Oops, I think I must have moved this. Must have moved the cut accidentally. There we go. Get that cut back to where it was. I think it was about like that. So you add a little bit of like camera shake to the camera. You can see that kind of right here. Here's a little bit of, this is the up and down motion of the camera. And then there's a little bit of pitch vibration that I added to. This is the like, the camera like goes up and down with the translate and Z, and then it also has a little bit of pitch on it. So that's what you're seeing right here. And if you move those splines, you can sort of see like maybe I want that to be even bigger impact. All easy stuff to do, just super fun. So then, yeah, camera cuts to another camera. This is like a helicopter camera or like somebody from the skyscraper down the street that's looking out of his window like, what is happening? And they're seeing this thing. It's a long focal length. This is more like a 200 millimeter or something. Let's see what we got for this one. Oops, wrong camera. This one. So this camera, it's 16 millimeters, so it's still fairly wide, but it's just sort of the slowly rising shot. You're just seeing like the scale of this character to like relation to the lampposts and stuff. You're like, whoa, this thing is huge. So it doesn't have to be a 200. I was aiming for this to be more like a telephoto, but it's interesting how that turned out that way. And then finally we cut back to the POV camera of watching you're down there in the street and you're looking up and you're like, with your phone trying to keep this thing in frame as it's walking right over the top of you with its big foot. So that, again, that's another, for that camera, what are we using here? That's this camera. And that one is 16 millimeter, but we're just kind of animating the camera, the head and the pan around to get that thing in frame. So those are those 4 cameras that we did to set this shot up. Then we did some really fun stuff with some explosions. Just a second, sweetie. So then right when he lands, like I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have some awesome big explosions come up? So we did explosion 1, explosion 2. So big explosion. Maybe he landed on 2 cars. We can't really see it. The other idea behind this was to sort of cover up where the feet aren't perfectly. Yeah, see how the feet are a little bit, they're not landing perfectly. I could fix that up with the animation, but I thought, well, let's just cover that up with I would imagine those feet to kind of flatten out when they hit the ground. But so let's just use a trick and just put some explosions right in front of it. Boom, now you can't see the feet anymore, and it looks even more cool, more epic. Also, there's some sparks that are shooting out from... So there's two different kind of explosive effects. This, if you're familiar with Unreal and some Niagara particle effects, these two explosions are just stock explosions. I didn't really do anything to them. There, you can find those just very easily. Niagara system, Niagara Fluids. You do have to install the Niagara Fluids plugin for this to get access to these, but I believe that explosion right here is just this grid 3D gas explosion. That plugin, you need to just install this Niagara Fluids plugin right here. Just make sure that's installed, and if it's not, it's here by default, but you just have to check it to turn it on, and then you'll have to restart your editor to get access to those extra explosions. So those are those cool effects. What else do I have? I thought it would be neat to have a couple of like these lampposts like fall over. Oh, we added a couple of cars to the scene that are animating just in that establishing shot. They don't have nothing. The wheels aren't turning. Nothing's happening. They're just translating. So it's very simple animation, but it doesn't matter because you only see it for a second. In this shot, yeah, I wanted to have that lamppost fall over. This thing, maybe the explosion affected it. Just the ground shook or something happened, and that lamppost is like, again, just to show you the scale. So let's see. We've got. Where did I do that with that lamppost? That would be right here, light pole 1. So if you zoom out, you can kind of see, like, here's the light pole coming down. There's just a simple rotate on, this is the lamppost, like the animation of the lamppost falling down. It's one control, it's just the roll of that. And what's super neat, this blows my mind. When the lamppost flies through the explosion, it affects the gas particles in the explosion. It's just nuts. I can't believe this is happening in real time. I love Unreal. It's so neat. Okay, so there's that lamppost that we have flying down. We have another one right there that falls down. Right when they fall down, we wanted to have, it's an electrical, this is an electrical element that we thought would be neat to have, like, as this thing falls down, like sparks shoot off. So it falls down, and there you see some sparks. Again, that was another, like, pretty simple effect that we didn't do a whole lot of modification to. That was, I think, in Niagara Systems. That one was... Oh, this might have been a more... Yeah, this is just this directional burst. This is what it looks like out of the box. Yeah, so you can see, I didn't do anything to it. The one trick that I did discover that, for those of you who know Unreal pretty well, this is probably pretty standard for you, but I wanted to time these explosions so that they would happen at specific moments. And the trick that I found that worked for that is this. So when you click on it, you can convert selected bindings to possessable. And what that did was it gave me a spawned track down here in my sequencer, and I could toggle it off until a specific moment, and then when it turns on, that's when the effect occurs. And then you can slide it around in your timeline to kind of plan exactly when you want the effect to occur. So that was pretty effective. Yeah. So again, just this character, it works great. Oh, the last little thing. This is the character did not have these sort of glowing eyes when it came in from Cartwheel. It didn't generate with those. But what I did was I went ahead and modeled like this sort of little shape. Oops, where'd it go? This little kind of skeletal mesh, like an eye shape to kind of wrap around the the character's head, and then I generated a texture for it, which is a very simple. There's a color, there's a multiply value of 10, and it just goes right into the emissive color, and that just apply that shader to the eye, and that's how you get that glowing effect. And then in order to attach the eyes themselves to the character, what you do for that is you go to the, go back to the character's skeleton. Mech robot, here we go. Here's the skeletal mesh. Go to the skeleton of the character, and then what I did is under the head, I created a new socket, and I just called it eyes. And then once you attach that socket to the head, then when you bring it into your scene, when you add, if the skeletal mesh was outside of here, you can, when you add it to here, you can select the socket eyes. And so now basically, since the eye socket is attached to the head, wherever the head bone moves, the eyes that are connected to that socket will just go with it. This is just a really easy constraint. If you don't need this object to become disconnected or detached throughout the action, socket works great. I've done it before with using a sword or something, where for the duration of the shot, the sword isn't in the hand. You don't need to have the sword coming off of it or not. A socket works great for that. Go back in, open up our sequence. Okay, so then here's our action again. So we can watch it one last time. So yeah, the character comes in, boom, big camera reaction, sparks flying, boom. Oh, there's a little bit of camera shake on that last POV cam, right as the foot comes down, you feel the shake of the camera one more time. Big one last explosion. To kind of cut on at the end. And there you go. This is a character I generated a couple minutes ago, brought it into Unreal, built some sets, added some props, added some explosions, added some cameras to kind of set up a cinematic scene. This is great for prototyping. This is great for pitching your idea. Because this is so fast, I'm not really a very good storyboarder. I can't draw very well. But if I needed to pitch an idea to somebody about it, this is just the way that I would work, because it's just faster for me. I feel like I'm in control. I can generate whatever character I want. I can set up the cameras how I want. The only thing I might need to do is maybe find a set that I can use, or try to be clever about what I want to do. But just the combination of Cartwheel, the character generator, plus Unreal, and the virtual production workflow is just, to me, can't beat it. All right, thanks for watching this tour of the character creator. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. Thanks for your time. Excited to see what you create. Happy animating.